Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. So we got our new set of units. It looks like we're diving into a little bit of Dragon Ball Saga, which is good. You know, kudos to the team for being willing to dive into some maybe less popular tags, just because I feel like they definitely need some representation in the game, and I'm very excited to look at their kits. So one of them being Launch. Right off the bat, she's red, which is great because female warriors need a red, but at the same time, this is great for Dragon Ball Saga because they need a red as well. Looking at her at 2 stars, you can tell from her stats right here, she's a blast-oriented unit. Her defenses, even though she's only at 2 stars, are rather low. 120k mark, even at 2 stars, is rather low, so she's going to be a little bit squishy, which is gonna be a little bit tricky, but I guess it is what it is. Strike attack still looking, her blast attack looking kind of impressive. So her main ability, reduce enemy Dragon Balls by 3. Not even surprised. Dragon Ball Saga units tend to be all about, well, manipulating the Dragon Balls. I mean, we already see it with Demon King Piccolo, so no surprise at all. Take away 3 Dragon Balls, that's huge. I mean, goodbye Rising Rush, no more for you. 40% to damage inflicted, not bad, and -5 to all her costs, not bad at all. Only 10 timer counts to pop as well, so I mean, you could easily strip away your opponent's early Rising Rush with this. Her first passive, Menacing Woman, applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. She draws a blast card, she gets 40% to damage inflicted, and she takes 35% less damage. Makes sense. Her low defensive stats are reflected by the fact that she has a very high damage reduced damage passive, so no surprise right there. And then the next part of her passive, the following effects occur when this character evades an enemy attack with a vanish step. She will draw a special arts card, happens twice, and she increases her own card draw speed by 2 levels for 5 timer counts. That's kind of insane. I wonder if the developers are preying on the fact that in most instances when you dodge, you're kind of waiting for your opponent to make a move, and you, in the process of waiting, shaves away at this 5 timer count level 2 card draw speed. So they're thinking maybe it's not too OP, but in certain situations that could be kind of crazy. Level 2 card draw speed is no joke. Her next passive, okay, whose idea was this? 30% to blast damage inflicted for 10 timer counts every time she uses a blast arts. Wow, that is a lot. 30%. Try to remember, Red Gogeta I'm pretty sure is 20% for either a strike or a blast card. So for Launch to be getting 30 every time she uses one of these cards is kind of nuts. That's quite a bit. Next part of the passive, gain attribute upgrade, -15% to enemy sustained damage cut effects. Not bad. I mean, I guess that helps her with shaving away at tanks. Not too crazy. It applies on either a strike or a blast card. Pretty cool. And inflicts all enemies with 2 sub counts when enemy switches characters while this character is on the battlefield. I think the Green Kid Trunks does the same thing. It's a similar condition like this, but 2 timer counts could be the difference between getting that Rising Rush on a key opponent and not getting at all. Standard strike, no blast armor. Would be hilarious if she did. She has piercing blast cards. I mean, she's shooting bullets, so that's probably it. Her blue card, major explodes, so not massive, meaning it's not going to do insane amounts, but 30% to special move, inflicted for 3 timer counts upon activation, with a 20% chance to faint. That's always great. You know what that means? That means that when I face every single launch, I'm going to get fainted. Green card, ignores ally sub count and immediately switches character. Wow. Immediately switches characters, applies the following effects to self to allies upon activation. Gain 50 key, 30% to damage inflicted. Wow. Ignore sub count restrictions, gain 50 key and 30% to damage inflicted. That's like most characters' first passives. That's crazy. The following effects occur based on the number of defeated battle members. If 1 battle member or more is defeated, you'll heal 15%. If 2 battle members are defeated, you'll restore your Vanish gauge 100%, activates 3 times. Holy crap. So Launch is a very dangerous looking last stand unit. That's the impression I'm getting here. But then again, how many people have just a bunch of green cards lying around? I mean, if your hand is pretty much 3 green cards at the end of the day, I don't really know. It's super situational where that green card thing is going to be super dangerous, but I can see it. Imagine you vanish, you use a green card to catch your opponent in the sidestep. They're not thinking you have vanish. You have level 2 card draw speed, you do some crazy damage. Next unit comes in, your opponent attacks. Pop a green card, another vanish. then you get reported for hacking. That's what's going to happen with this. Her Z ability, starting with just red. Okay, I mean, she's a red character. Then I'm guessing it moves on to red, green, or Dragon Ball Saga. Thank you for having a green buffer, but that kind of sucks. It kind of shafted her here because this should have been female warriors, if you ask me. Red, green, red female warriors or Dragon Ball Saga, I think would have made more sense for this one. And there's her equipment setup, not bad. The next one being Yamcha. Yamcha, super happy to see this. 2 stars once again, and look at this. Strike attack is well over 200k. You know what that means? That means he's going to do a stupid amount of strike damage. Blast damage is pretty caca, but I mean, I guess he's pretty much the Dragon Ball version of Hit. He has no blast attack. The defenses aren't too bad. First passive, you're not the only one with special powers, kid. Draw the ultimate arts card, Panzerfaust. Next, restore own ki by 40. 30% to damage inflicted, uncancelable, so nice little permanent buff that he gets, and restores his own Vanish gauge. So look at that, 2 Dragon Ball characters with a very annoying method of restoring Vanish. So if you're careful and you save those green cards for launch, or you use the main ability with this guy, Britain, oh, you're going to get reported for hacking. Everyone's getting reported. Everyone's getting banned. 25 timer counts though. Quite a bit. First passive, Infamous Bandit. Following effects occur once you enter the battlefield. 60% to damage inflicted, 30% to own crit rate, 30% to crit damage. Hello, is this Bardock? Hello? This is Super Saiyan Bardock without needing a Super Saiyan character. This is Hit without needing a build up to getting all these passives. That's kind of stupid. Randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards, so it's like Purple Vegeta without the key restore. And then you randomly destroy 1 enemy card. I was actually scared. I thought I misread this and it said you randomly draw a new card. So like the Zenkai 7 EX Raditz, that would have been awful. But wow, that's a dangerous first passive. So, I mean, Dragon Ball Saga, not the most exciting tag, but to make up for it, they make some really stupid characters. And it looks like they definitely check off the box in terms of stupid. That's kind of crazy. Cunning Payback, second passive. Reduce damage received by 20% when battle starts. Not bad. I mean, for this case, I kind of would have preferred if this was just transferred over to higher defensive stats, but I guess I'll take it. This is the kind of thing that favors characters with the higher stars, unfortunately. So if you only get 1 copy of him, I mean, if you really like Yamcha, then try to get the booster missions, because at 6 stars, this will play a more significant role for sure. The following effects occur once the enemy attack is over. So once Yamcha stops getting beaten up, he kills 1 Dragon Ball. So like the Super Saiyan Gohan, the movie Saga one, before he transforms to Super Saiyan 2, has a similar passive, I believe. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade 20% to damage received. Inflict all enemies with no switching for 3 timer counts. Activates 3 times. Reduces damage received by 20. Wow, that's a crazy thing if you really think about it. So what's going to happen? Let's say your opponent is in a tricky spot. You have successfully beaten them up to the point where they only got 1 character left. Well, with this, if you used up their Vanish, or they have 2 characters left, let's say if the opponent doesn't have Vanish and this attack ends, they're not going to have that opportunity to leave, and that 1 character is stuck. I mean, if you're quick enough, you can get a Rising Rush or a Blast Armor ult in and kind of secure the kill. This is very dangerous if you're not careful with what you're doing. You got to be sure to immediately switch out to a character with Vanish if you're beating up a Yamcha. Otherwise, you risk getting stuck and pushed into a corner. First, his strike card, Heavy Bleed. That's always great. Dot damage, never hurt. 30% chance to hit Heavy Bleed, which is great. Blue card, Major Slice damage. The following effects occur on hit. You get a special arts card, 100% chance to inflict Heavy Bleed. This is quite nice just because this green card could work perfectly with launch. You hit your blue card, you get a green card, give the green card to launch, and she can put some crazy work into it. She can immediately move off to another character because she ignores sub count and just switches out. But speaking of green cards, so for Yamcha, Mr. Handsome, restores own ki by 40, cancel attribute downgrades, that's great. Reduce enemy ki by 40, so he's not only like hit, he's basically like an annoying Zamasu. I really hope he doesn't have a long quote, otherwise, he's going to be annoying to face. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade 20% to damage received, so that's very easy to stack. A green card alongside this Very easy for your opponent to be taking 40% extra damage just from beating you up a little bit, and you decided to pop a green card. So debuff City. His ultimate, massive explode damage. There's that massive multiplier. The following effects occur on hit. Restore own health by 25%, reduces enemy ki by 70%, and inflict enemy with attribute downgrade minus 150% to ki recovery. You're not healing anything for 5 timer counts pretty much, with blast armor too. So restore own health, reduce enemy ki, kind of reminds me of Turles or Full Power Super Saiyan 4. You know, those guys had crazy ways of getting their healing back, so this is cool. And then his strike cards are where it gets really interesting. Strike cards with 30% to own crit rate for 2 timer counts when used. That's kind of scary, because if you're fast enough, you can do a strike card and then, I don't know, merge in another card. And I'm pretty sure this is causing you to get a 2 timer count 30% crit rate buff, which is cool. And then the other card, well, both of these are doing the same thing. And then his buffs are for green, strike, attack, and defense. Green and yellow, or Dragon Ball Saga. Yeah, once again, I would have preferred if this was Super Warriors didn't really exist. Yeah, they didn't exist at this point, so I guess it's somewhat understandable, but I'm not gonna complain really. I wanted a green and yellow type buffer, so you know, thumbs up, that's cool. Here's the equipment for him, basically none, so feels bad moment. And then the final character to take a look at is going to be this blue Trunks. He's getting a Zenkai Awakening. We all pretty much saw this coming when we saw the Jump Festa panel. Yu was using the strangest yellow blue team imaginable, and we saw Demon King, the LF Piccolo alongside the God Vegeta, and the final character was the Trunks, and lo and behold, here he is. So 7 stars. Maxed out, Zenkai tab checkmarked. He's gonna have booster missions, I believe. Looking at his stats, pretty damn good. He's obviously a blast oriented unit. He was a decent support prior to Zenkai, so this is gonna be pretty interesting to see. Main ability, draw a blue card, restore ki by 70, 30% to damage inflicted by allies for 30 timer counts, nullify attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions for 15 timer counts. Would you look at that? This kind of smells like Vados, but on a Zenkai character. And it's a little bit better because he gets a blue card and ki recovery. That's kind of nuts, man. They really just looked at Vados and said, take everything that's good from Vados' main and chuck it onto this guy, and lo and behold. And the scary thing is, Future and God Ki have enough overlap that you can make this guy work with Vados if you really wanted to. You could just put like Red Rose, Bird Zamasu, some other character that worked on Future as well as God Ki, and there you go. You got a decent synergy between this Trunks and Vados, and he's gonna be stupid, and Vados is already the best support in the game, so very scary ways to get a lot of damage thrown around to everybody here. His first passive, 50% blast damage inflicted when he shows up on the battlefield, restores his own health by 10 when he's switched to standby. He's going to be annoying to kill. Annoying to attempt to kill, rather, because 10% of his own health with a Zenkai, oof, he ain't dying. The following effects occur when this character evades an enemy with a vanish step. He gains 30 ki, reduces ally sub count by 2, triggers 3 times, pretty good. More sub count manipulation, arguably one of the strongest things in the game, so that's like I said, there's enough overlap between Future and God Ki that you could easily make this character work with Champa and Vados, and as you may know how those guys work, it's all about more sub count chopping away. So that would be fun if someone figured out a way to stitch that together. Hint, 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 nudge, nudge, wink, wink. This next passive, Flame of Hope, 30% to own ki recovery per defeated battle member when he shows up on the field, an additional 25% to damage inflicted per tag. Future, hybrid, or Vegeta family character. That's really good. I mean, he's already doing 50% blast damage, so for every battle member that satisfies one of these tags that were defeated, he's going to do an extra 25%, so 100% blast damage as a sort of pseudo last stand unit with that ki recovery, Zenkai 7 stats. Trunks is pretty damn scary to deal with, as is his Rage counterpart. Now his first Zenkai passive, Chance of Retaliation. Apply the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. Increase your own card draw speed by 1 level for 15 timer counts, -5 to your arts cost for 15 timer counts, and you take away all attribute downgrades that are normal conditions. So card draw speed after getting beaten up, pretty cool. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the exact same way Super Saiyan God Vegeta works. So yeah, very intimidating last stand unit. You just bring him on. Don't even go for tap attacks. That's actually a scary thought, because notice here, it does not say it cannot be stacked. So if you decide to tap attack a Trunks and he gets priority, I mean, this will keep stacking. You could comfortably give him level 2 card draw speed if you're not careful. His next passive, Determined Battle, applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield if there is a tag feature or a tag hybrid Saiyan battle member other than this character in the party. 50% to damage inflicted, reduces damage received by 20%, shorten own sub count by 1 every time another battle member is hit with an enemy strike or blast arts attack, activates 10 times. So he probably works out dangerously well with his Rage Trunks counterpart. Strike card, chance to inflict bleed, makes sense. Blue card, massive impact, there's that massive multiplier. 20% of damage inflicted for 15 timer counts upon activation, and inflict attribute downgrade to minus 30% to key recovery for 20 timer counts. So pretty good looking blue card. His green card, restore own health by 10%. 25% of damage inflicted, that's a very high number, especially considering it's damage inflicted, it's everything. So 25% for 20 timer counts is quite a long time. I thought this is going to be blue in Hybrid Saiyans, but it's blue in Futures, so Vegeta Blue yet again gets another Zenkai ability to buff him up a little bit, and as is the ability mentioned before, Future Hybrid Saiyan Blast Defense. Here are all his available equips, so looking like a very, very good Zenkai. Not only could he be a pseudo last stand unit, but he has very different means of getting card draw speed, which Gogeta Blue doesn't. And he's a fantastic support, so he seems like a jack of all trades unit. Just want to take a look at him at 14 stars. Yeah, that's pretty spooky, my friend. He is definitely a jack of all trades. He could be the staple future unit because of that main ability alone. This right here alone, with the sub count manipulation, would probably make him Future's designated blue unit. So pretty intimidating, pretty scary set of units that we're getting here. Yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to these characters. Do be sure to show that you actually are looking forward to these Dragon Ball characters, because I mean, we gotta applaud them for taking the time to want to release them anyways. We can't always just have Vegetas and Gokus and fusions and, you know, UIs and stuff like this. We gotta show appreciation to some of the, I guess, underrated characters too. I'm looking forward to them, definitely excited for this. Looking forward to trying all these characters out, and hopefully you guys are looking forward to the respective showcases. I mean, I can kind of no, I don't yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Look forward to the showcases, and until next time, peace.